What's up, yo? Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to 88 Fitness Live every Sunday, 12 Eastern Time. Today we're talking about building muscle and burning fat at the same time. Real recomp strategy.
All right.
But first,
updates. You guys, I made it. It is finally peak week for me. So that is probably the biggest update we have this week. Yeah. I lost 2.6 pounds this week. So in a pretty good place to go into that final push to the stage. Not quite where I want to be, but hey, you know what? We've come a long way. If you haven't already, check out that community post showing kind of where I started in March to where I am today. So pretty crazy.
Yeah, very excited to see Camille dominate next week. Then get to eating and get back to rocking and rolling again.
Making those gains. What about you? What was new and exciting this week?
Not much. I mean, we're talking about body recomp, so that's pretty much what I've been doing for a couple months at this point. Maintained at 207, but if you look at the pics, I'm definitely leaner this week at the same weight. So what we're about to talk about is happening right now in front of your eyes.
For sure, for sure. But first, if you are new here, welcome to the 88 Fitness Training channel. Between James and I, we've come to you with over 30 years of real-world bodybuilding experience, contest prep, as well as smart science-based programming to help you guys, which are serious lifters, get those gains, build that muscle, lose that fat, and train for real results there. So whether you're stepping on the stage like me or you just want to look like you could, we got you covered, you guys. So definitely take a minute, hit like to this video so more people can find it. Drop us a comment on where you're tuning in from. I'd love to hear where all of our subscribers are from. Yeah. And if you haven't already, definitely subscribe and hit the bell so you can stay up to date on all of our latest content. And if you really find value in today's content, there's always that super thanks option. Keeps us producing great content for you guys. So again, welcome to the channel. This week was fun. James dropped a lot of videos related to fixing your lagging triceps.
Yeah.
So those videos are live now. So definitely make sure you go back and take a look at that if triceps is one of the things you're looking to beef up.
Yeah. Becky's on.
Hey,
good morning, Becky. Welcome back from Tucson. All right.
Yeah. What's the weather like right now in Tucson? It's got to be
hot.
Very hot.
We snapped the heat wave here in Maryland. There was 2 weeks, man, where it was just sweltering.
It was. For sure.
I made it. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, this coming week you have fix your lagging rear delt. This was actually a subscriber request, so yep. I'm excited for that one. Angel, hot and dry, Becky says. Yeah, I bet.
Sounds like Arizona.
For sure. So yeah, let's get into today's topic on body recomp. That is actually one of my specialties, you guys. Like in terms of each trainer kind of focuses on something. Mine is body recomp and women's bodybuilding in particular. So this is a very fun topic for me to talk about and share with you guys today. So a lot of people wonder, is body recomposition real? Like, can you actually shed that body fat while gaining muscle at the same time?
Yeah, a lot of people think you can't do it. Hey, Skippy, good morning from Vancouver, Canada. All right, another Canadian. Thanks for tuning in.
And for those just joining us, we had asked where all of our subscribers are coming from and viewers today. So drop us a comment. We are in Maryland, if you weren't familiar with that. So yeah, a lot of people wonder about the body recomposition and, guys, it's not really about the scale weight. And I think that's what trips everybody up. Yeah. It's about the visual transformation that's happening with your body versus the scale.
Dave and Buster, welcome back, Dave, from Colorado, Castle Rock, just south of Denver. Fantastic.
All right.
Aileen, what's up, Aileen? Welcome back from New Brunswick, Canada. Another Canadian. Well, we knew Aileen was Canadian. All right.
Yeah,
welcome back.
We need some more, East Coasters in the house. Who else do we got on the East Coast listening in? So, yeah, you might not weigh the same, but 15 pounds leaner and more muscular can look drastically different from a visual perspective.
Very different.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Angel from Missouri. All right. Fantastic.
Yeah, so body recomposition is not just for beginners. It's not just like a bulk cut kind of thing. It's basically a middle ground that a lot of people ignore. Like they just assume you're either bulking or you're cutting, and there's no in between. But it's a really great strategy that does fall in between those two kind of goals.
It is. And, as a young man, I said this sport only has 2 seasons, bulking and cutting. But after doing this and after doing the maintain for months at a time and still putting on muscle, I believe in body recomp now.
Yeah. Chris, Maryland. Yeah.
All right, Chris, welcome back from Maryland, baby. Aileen said it's hard. Lots of tracking. Yes, it is. Big T, what's up, Big T? Welcome back. We know Big T's from Maryland too, baby.
Yeah, so not only is it a lot of tracking, it's also not fast, right? But
slow,
yeah, it's a slow process, but it's very effective for lasting results, you guys. And so, yeah, I definitely wanted to open with that because a lot of people are confused about, what exactly is body recomposition and who is it really for? And we're going to dive deeper into all of that in a second here. So definitely, if you have body recomp questions today or any question at all, drop it in the chat and we'll get them answered. It doesn't have to be on our topic. We love interacting with you guys. So yeah, let's talk about kind of why body recomposition works when done right. First and foremost, at least to me, it all starts with muscle protein synthesis, right? So you can create muscle protein synthesis by training with intensity and feeding your body. I mean, that's something that James and I, if you guys don't take anything away from our channel, I hope the one thing that you do is that regardless of the goal, the training intensity, really needs to be there. So yeah, especially when it comes to feeding your body right, that is important too. You might think body recomp and you might think diet or cut, but that's not the case. It's about feeding your body the things it needs for the goal that you have. Yeah. So that might mean eating foods, rich in leucine, like, whey or eggs or lean meats. Those are signals to your body telling it to grow. And so that's just a piece of it that you have to understand.
Yeah, you got to give your body nutrients to grow. Anything beyond that's going to go to waste anyway, y'all. So like Mike Mentor said, as long as you have your nutrients covered, you're good. You don't need anything beyond that, right? Unless you're bulking.
Yeah.
We're not talking about bulking. So.
Good morning, Native Grit.
Native Grit, welcome back, baby. How you doing? Hanging out with the 88 fam. Appreciate it, Native Grit. Welcome back. We're still praying for your health issues, baby. Hopefully you're getting better.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, muscle protein synthesis is the first thing you need to understand about body recomposition. It is one of the most important things. Regardless of what you do, you have to train with intensity and make sure you're eating to support muscle protein synthesis. If you're not eating enough and you're kind of training intensely, we've talked about this, you guys, you're breaking down your muscle tissue. And so when you do eat, your body's going to prioritize repair versus growth. So you want to make sure that you're eating sufficiently, right? The other part to body recomposition is fat oxidation, right? We got to burn fat off. That's the goal. We want to shred the fat, build the muscle, overall more kind of toned athletic look.
More muscle, less fat.
So fat loss basically happens when you're at a caloric deficit. Now, because we're body recomping and we don't want such an extreme deficit that you end up chewing through your muscle, you want to create a small deficit, you guys. Small but sustainable. So we're not talking about starving yourself. We're talking, maybe a 200 to 500 calorie deficit off of your maintain.
Hey, Skippy, do you follow mentor training and diet recommendations? Yes, I do.
We sure do.
I'm not going to say 100% all of them, but most of them I apply. Yes, absolutely. 100%. It's very hard to find anything mentor said and try to prove it wrong.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I love the practicality of what he's saying and how he can really relate to just about everyone with his examples.
Yeah. And he, like Camille said, anybody can understand. He doesn't over-science it. He doesn't complicate it. He breaks it down. He gives you the science, and then he breaks it down to the common man can understand it. Even I can, right? All right, Dave and Buster, I'm blowing up my PRs. All right, brother. But I'm putting on weight, 2 pounds in 1 month. I think I'm gaining too much fat with the muscles. Is there a guide for how lean muscle equals how much strength gain? There is not.
No. Unfortunately not.
Your best tool would be the mirror and pictures and videos, or just look at yourself. You know your body. If you're putting on too much fat, reel it back a little bit.
Right. 2 pounds in a month's not crazy. I mean, it's not crazy
bad at all, but it's
can't do that indefinitely though. You know, you'll get that.
It's what you want and how you want to look. So if those 2 pounds you don't like, dial it back. But 2 pounds in 2 months is definitely sustainable, not bad at all. Aileen, last time I took 1.7 grams of protein. What are your thoughts per pound of protein? What are your thoughts? Yeah, that's pretty much the recommended dose. How did it go? To me, I think you're right on point there. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it might be a little high, but one of the things that I recommend is, you know, when you're over 40, so 40s, 50s, 60s, you might want to consider taking a little more protein. So the 1.7 grams per pound is actually pretty good because naturally, you know, we're losing muscle mass and stuff. So we want to make sure that we're feeding our body enough protein so it can help, you know, sustain what you have and hopefully build more. So if you were more towards like the 1 to 1.2, that might not be enough at our age to sustain that muscle protein synthesis. So yeah, I would recommend that, you know, if you're a little older, sticking to maybe even like 1.4 to 1.7 is a pretty good range. It might be on the high side. What I'd be curious about, Aileen, is how is your adherence? Because that is a lot of protein to try to consume.
Yeah. How was your stomach and your bathroom habits when you were doing that? Big T, at last week on vacation, I was doing full body workouts with bands and light dumbbells and still making progress and gains. My man, getting it on vacay. Stay consistent, Big T. I love it, baby. I love it. Angel, you guys look jacked. Thank you.
I appreciate that because Angel, when you're going into peak week as an athlete, you are starting to carb deplete or you are carb depleted and you just feel like a toothpick. Like I literally feel like the tiniest, skinniest person in the world. So I appreciate that.
Welcome to prep and peak week, y'all. Aileen, I recount faster and because of baking soda, no stomach issues. Okay.
Very nice.
Very good. If that amount of protein doesn't bother you, I think you nailed it. I was going to say between 1 and 2 grams per pound, but 1.7, you're nailing it, bro.
Yeah, I think at the 2, it's just hard for people to adhere to that. They have to be very disciplined and they probably have to supplement with quite a bit of whey protein because they can't eat all that because remember we do have to be in a slight caloric deficit, so it can be challenging, but I think that's great, Aileen. Good job. So number 1, we talked about the muscle protein synthesis. That is key for the body recomp. And then 2 is the fat oxidation. We need to burn fat, and we do that by creating a small caloric deficit. Now, where people go wrong with the body recomp is they cut too much too fast. And we'll talk a little bit about that later. You really don't need that much of a deficit. And remember, the bigger the deficit, the harder it is to train with intensity, which means the harder it is for you to get the muscle protein synthesis, you guys.
And we're not cutting. We're recomping. So again, you don't need a severe cut in calories.
Yeah, Aileen says at 2 grams per pound of body weight, he'd be at 400 grams of protein a day, you guys. Like that is just...
I agree.
It's way too much. It's not needed.
Yep. You're going to be hitting the bathroom a lot more with 400 grams of protein because it's more than what you need.
So, yeah, we talked a little bit about the food. You know, the nutrients are important as well. Like that's really where the magic happens. My shoulders are looking capped. Nice.
That's fantastic, Dave. She's been working on shoulders for about 2 years, thinking they're weak points. So thank you for pointing that out.
I appreciate that. So yeah, the nutrition partitioning is kind of where your body figures out what to do with the food that you're eating. So it can either build muscle, store fat, or even like repair muscle if it's damaged. Right. So if you're doing the frequent training, you know, you have high insulin sensitivity, the quality of the sleep, like all these things kind of change what's happening with the nutrients in your body on whether it's shifting towards building muscle or building fat. So the best way I can like really explain it to you guys is like, you're not trying to out diet bad training, right? That can't work for body recomp. The training's got to be on point and the diet's got to be on point.
No question.
And vice versa. Like you can't out train a bad diet, right? So it works both ways. You got to work in such a way where you're telling your body, hey, I need you to keep this muscle that I've built and just burn off the fluff, right? Yeah. And so your programming needs to reflect that.
Yeah. Angel asks how my back's doing. Thank you, Angel. I appreciate that. Well, we're doing pretty good. I'm doing light deadlifts now. Still haven't done a straight leg deadlift. I've done some bent over rows. Let me see. I deadlifted 185 last leg day, which is nothing compared to my 500 pounds, but we're working our way back up. So far, so good. And again, I'm going to take it slow because I don't want to re-injure it.
No, for sure not.
Thanks for asking, Angel. I appreciate that. Hey, Skippy, James, how much protein do you get in? I try to get in 1 gram per pound like right now, but I'm very caloric restricted at 2,100, so I don't always make it. When I'm bulking, I'm with a lean. I'm between 1 and 2 grams per pound, usually probably 1.4, 1.5.
Yeah.
Aileen, so did my arm. Did my arms your way, alternating biceps, triceps. What a pump. Thanks for your tips. Very good, Aileen. Very good. Get some, baby.
For sure, for sure. So in terms of who body recomposition's for, the ideal candidates would be maybe some type of former athlete that's just getting back into training. I have a client right now. She was a swimmer for a long time and then stopped. And now she's trying to kind of get that lean physique back. So really good candidate for going into a body recomposition. Muscle memory kicks in fast for those former athletes, you guys. Like your nervous system's really good at adapting if it's something that you used to do. So you'll rebound quicker than you think.
Yeah, one of my first jobs in the fitness industry was selling memberships at Gold's Gym. And then when somebody comes in, you tour them, you ask them what their goals are. 70% of people said tone and firm. That's recomp, y'all. Yeah. They just put it in different words, tone and firm.
For sure.
So most people out there just want to recomp. All right, I think this one's for you. Becky, Samuel, which I think is Camille. Your physique is my goal. I'm working so hard with absolute focus to catch up. I'm older and not sure if it's attainable for me, but not going to quit. You inspire me. Outstanding.
Hey, you know, I think it is for everyone. One of the things I think is actually fascinating about women's bodybuilding is you're seeing a lot of older women do it. I mean, women in their 40s, 50s, 60s. There's even a 70-year-old OCB women's, I think she was women's physique or figure athlete going out there and competing. And you guys, these women look great. They're not just getting up there and they're subpar for any measure. They're going out and they're winning their OCB pro cards. So I love to see it because that means you're strong, you're preserving like that bone density, and you have like complete function at that age. It's incredible.
It is. And what do we start this show with? It takes time. You know, muscle maturity takes time. The more time you put in, the better your physique is going to be. Excuse me. Becky's 57. All right.
There you go.
You're right there and with the rest of us. And I get that comment all the time too. I want to look like you. Well, you can. You just got to stick at it. And for anybody that's young, yes, you will catch me at some point. Just stay consistent and stay at it.
Absolutely.
You will most definitely catch me. If I can do it, you can do it. So stay at it, stick with it, and you can. Dave and Buster, to protect my back, I was started doing Smith machine bent over rows. Helm style. My chest supported on the tip of a 45-degree weight bench. Fantastic. I know Camille loves those.
Yeah, I like it too. The quality of the row is so much better when you don't have to stabilize with the lower back.
Fangirl's back.
Hey,
welcome back, fangirl.
So in terms of another great candidate for body recomposition, this would be kind of like your post-bulk lifters that are just looking to tighten back up a little bit.
So that's exactly what I did in March. Was it before March? I think it's March. I started cutting. You know, I bulked over the winter.
All right.
Put on way too much weight. Said I need to cut it down, but I'm not doing a contest, so I'm not really going to cut. Let's get down to a recomp and let's see what happens.
So Dave and Buster, maybe that's for you. If you're like, hey, I got a little too fluffy doing this bulk, you could try to go into a recomp, and it shouldn't affect your strength gains and your ability to gain muscle because the deficit isn't that strong. You're just going to peel off that little bit of fluff that's going on there.
That is correct. Dave, if I was you and you wanted to lose those 2 pounds, I would only lower 100 calories.
Yeah, see what happens.
See what happens.
Yeah. And then the last great set of candidates for body recomposition is actually women that are either perimenopause or in postmenopause because deep caloric cuts wreaks havoc on your hormones, ladies. So, you know, if you're trying to firm and tone and lose that little bit of weight that's kind of like packed on there because of the perimenopause and the menopause, doing a body recomp, which takes a lot longer, is actually perfect. In fact, I've just been working with a client for the last 2 years, and I mean, she got jacked doing just this, and we really haven't changed the diet that much. So definitely a great candidate for that as well.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. She's doing great.
I mean, she's out there doing pull-ups now and all sorts of cool stuff. It's been incredible to see her transform.
Photo 80's back. Welcome back, Jeff. Bulking and cutting. Why bulk in the winter and cut in the summer? Is this for competition bodybuilding? That's a very good question. So most of it came from competition bodybuilding because when I started, there were no competitions in the winter. They're only in the summer. Now you can get them year round. But when I started back in the 90s, you couldn't get a competition in the winter to save your life. The overall common sense thing is you're covered up in the winter. So you're not really caring if you got a little bit of fluff.
Hoodies and sweaters and all that good stuff.
In the summer, your shirt's off. So you want to show off the gains. You want to be ripped. So that goes along with that as well.
Aileen's right. There's a lot more holidays going on. Thanksgiving, Christmas. I mean, you name it. People are eating, you know. So there's that.
New Year's, yeah, all that. Angel, Camille, your back looks amazing. When do we get to see your routine?
That is a good question. We actually did film a little gym video, so I might post that. But I'm sure we can get some better footage of that. But yeah, I'd love to share my posing routine for you guys. So hopefully James will film it while I'm up there on stage for you guys.
We'll see what happens. I'll try.
So yeah, and then, you know, body recomposition is also really great for your intermediate lifters that are maybe going through some type of plateau. And it's really good for individuals that have a body fat between 18 and 25% for male, and then that like 22 to 30% body fat for female. So you want to be kind of within reason of a lean physique there.
Yeah. All right, Native Grit. I tried a 3-day split for 4 weeks. I don't know why it was driving me crazy. Maybe the volume's too low. Heading back to 4 to 5 day training. Very good, Native Grit. And somebody asked about Mensa earlier, and this is one of the things I don't follow for Mensa, is he tells you to take 4 or 5 rest days.
However many you need, yeah.
So you're only in the gym maybe 1 or 2 days a week. I couldn't do that either, Native Grit. I love the gym. My people are there. My social life's there. I got to go to the gym. I might just go there to stretch, but I'm still going. And yeah, I like a 4 or 5 day split as well. That's my sweet spot.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it later too, but that is my recommendation for my body recomp peeps out there is 4 to 5 days.
Big T, what would you recommend for someone who did a 9-week cut? Would you say go into maintenance for a few weeks, change? Would you recommend change up your calorie intake and amount of cardio? That depends on your goals, Big T.
Did you like the result and want to keep it for a little longer, or
you want to keep cutting?
Keep cutting, or
maintain?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like you want to go to a bulk, so Sounds like you want to keep cutting or maintaining, depending on which one of those you want to do would depend on your actions.
Right.
Aileen, her guns are getting bigger too.
Yeah, that's right, guys.
You daggone right. Look at that. Dave and Buster, which is best? Regular shrug, power shrug, or wide grip cable shrug? What's a power shrug?
Yeah, I don't know what a power shrug. I love those wide grip cable shrugs.
So to me, the hunch shrug is the best one because you're hitting
upper and
mid traps, whereas just regular shrugs where you're standing straight up, you're just hitting upper traps. I like both, but to get full development of your traps, you need to do the hunch shrugs.
Yeah, that's a good point. In terms of who body recomposition is not good for you guys, I would say it is not good for any contest prep athletes in, getting ready for that final stage look. So it would not be great for me to go from where I am right now into body recomposition. Like there's no point to that. And it's not very good for very, very lean individuals that need a true surplus to grow.
Yeah. Angel said, what's easier for you, the bulk or the cut? Man, this is a good
Physically
question.
or emotionally, Angel?
This is a good question. They're both easy for about 3 weeks, and then they start getting hard. Believe it or not, the bulking actually gets hard to get all that food in. For me.
For him.
To get all that food in, and I've gone through a bulk where I got to eat a meal, and I'm already stuffed from the last meal I just ate, and you're just feeling sick getting that thing in. I'm going to have to go with cut. Cutting's easier for me. I'm naturally lean anyway, so I'm going to have to say cut.
I'm the complete opposite, you guys. I literally walk in a room and look at a piece of bread and it's like, poof! For sure. I mean, it was kind of interesting. Me and James went on this vacation to Spain and we walked a lot, you guys. We were very active. We weren't eating crazy portion sizes. Literally, James came back and I think he was down 7 or 10 pounds and I gained 7 or 10. And I'm like, we did the same thing. We worked out. We got our steps in. What on earth? So
ate the same food pretty much.
Yeah. So it was pretty wild. So yeah, for me, bulking up's way easy. If I want to bulk, I can do it pretty instantaneously. And I gain muscle pretty easy as well. But in terms of shedding that body fat off, it is really hard. So if you got any hard cutters out there and you need tips, DM me because I'm your girl.
Good point. And that's another reason cutting's easier for me. I'm naturally lean, just cut the calories and it comes off. I don't really have to go too extreme.
I think Michael's asking for another bicep measurement video.
Hey!
I suspect those are not 15-inch arms, but
She got the guns now.
We'll take a measurement on show day because I'll be nice and carved and pumped up.
Just got to remember.
Yeah, that's great though. All right, so let's move into some nutrition strategies for your body recomp. Now that you know what it is and who it's for, so let's talk about the diet. We already kind of jumped the gun and talked a little bit about the protein, but at a minimum, you guys, I still recommend 1 gram per pound of body weight at the low end. And like I said, if you are older, we want to really focus on preserving yes.
You got a request.
Triceps.
Bam.
There you go.
Nice.
You really want to preserve that muscle mass. So make sure you're eating slightly higher protein. So I would say that 1.4 to, 1.7 might be too hard, but at least around 1.4 there for you guys.
All right. Native Grit did test at the hospital. My recovery is on point. Fantastic. Just have some bad days. Doctor says be careful on
my rack math.
Remember, I got a 50-pound PR by doing wrong math.
Love it.
I know somebody else that does that too. Native Grit.
For sure.
At least you got the new PR, baby. But be careful, man. Be careful.
Take their recommendations seriously, dude. So you don't, end up injured.
Yeah.
So in terms of protein, bare minimum 1 gram per body weight. So, probably for your small females, that's probably enough, like a gram to 1.2 per pound of lean body mass. Whereas, you know, some of your guys, bigger guys, I think, you know, you definitely want to be on that 1.2 to 1.4. And if you're older, you know, definitely be on that 1.4 area. In terms of carbs, this is where you want to keep it pretty moderate. Like when we're bulking, it's okay to maybe have 50% carbs in your diet. But when we're trying to do the body recomp, we want to keep these in check. So I would recommend moderate carbs. So 30 to 40% of your total intake.
Yeah, I said it a few times. When you go to a cut, protein and fat pretty much stays the same. What you cut down is the carbs.
Yep, absolutely. And your fat, you guys, I would say between 20 and 30%, but don't duck any lower than that 20%. And you want quality sources. So we're talking, you know, your olive oil, your whole eggs, your fatty fishes, and this all goes to supporting hormone production as well as reducing inflammation, you guys.
Yeah, healthy fats, y'all. And you know, saturated fat's got a bad reputation, but it's good to keep your hormones in balance. So I wouldn't cut saturated fat completely out, maybe keep it low, but I wouldn't cut it out completely. Now, trans fat, you can go ahead and throw that out the window. You shouldn't be eating that anyway. That's worthless. But saturated and obviously saturated, polysaturated are your healthy fats. You want to get a bunch of those.
BCAAs are an easy way to preserve muscle. They are an effective anti-catabolic. Yes, they are.
You are correct, Dave and Buster. Yes, they are. They are a fantastic supplement to take while you're recomping or you're cutting to keep your muscle.
And if you have a quality protein, a whey protein, that probably has your BCAAs in there. So that's a good thing. You know, in terms of protein, the other thing of why you want to keep that protein high and really prioritize it is that it helps support recovery in addition to like the muscle repair, and it keeps you full, you guys. So, you know, you are at a slight deficit. So the more satiety and fullness you can feel, the better. And eating protein can help you with that. And now with the carbs, because you are at that slight deficit, I would definitely prioritize the timing of your carbs around your workout. So either before, during, or after, something like that for energy and glycogen. Maybe not during, all right, but definitely, you know, before or after. So one of my recommendations for my clients would be like, hey, if you're working out closer to lunchtime, try to front load some of those carbs earlier in the morning. That way you have the energy to hit the intensity of the workout.
Yeah, I think that's what Big T does, and he eats even more on leg day, so he's got energy to the workout. Angel, how much time are you doing for cardio leading up to your show?
You guys, I'm actually really happy this prep. I'm at 1 hour and 10 minutes. We really just bumped up that 10-minute part. So I pretty much, you know, stayed at an hour the whole time. Now, granted, I started off maybe 3 days a week, and I am at 6 days a week right now, going into 7 for this last final push. But I mean, that's nothing compared to what I've done in previous preps. I've done upwards of 2-3 hours at times, which, you know, in retrospect, that just causes a lot of inflammation and beats your body up pretty bad, spiking the cortisol and everything else. So I'm very grateful to only be at that hour and 10.
Yeah. Dave and Bust, I really load up the protein first 36 hours after workout. I assume that's to help with recovery. So not a bad strategy.
Yeah. So yeah, the tighter you can be with your macros in the body recomposition, the easier it is to control the inflammation, your water retention, your ability to train hard. And it's really the cornerstone of muscle retention, you guys.
Yeah. Michael has a great question. I'll let you handle this.
So Michael says, is it normal when on low carbs to feel lightheaded when training? Yes, Michael. Yes, it is. You want to make sure, like, let's say you're doing leg press. Do your leg press and then kind of sit up in the chair for like a second and then stand up very slowly, because yes, you'll get lightheaded. It happens to me all the time. I mean, even when not training, it happens to me a lot. And actually, I'm not even sure it has fully to do with the carbs. But yes, that is a popular thing with our clients. that they talk about.
It only happens to Camille when she's cutting. So it might not be carbs, it might be calories, but she stands up from the couch too fast and goes, whoa, lightheaded, gotta sit back down for a second.
Yeah, not good.
So it happens quite a lot. Big T, the old school bodybuilders from the 70s barely would eat carbs. They had high fats and proteins. They got their energy from their fats. Yeah,
for sure. So yeah, and one thing I want to point out with the body recomposition is that macros are greater than calories, you guys. Like, calories just tell you how much you're eating. Macros tell you what those calories are doing, right? So you can lose weight on a 2,000 calorie junk diet. You can.
Yes,
yeah.
you can. Or
you can recomp on a 2,300 clean calorie diet with precise macro tracking. So, you got to prioritize what's more important. If it's the body recomp and getting the body you want, you need to clean up the diet and make sure the macros are dialed in perfectly.
Yeah.
So in terms of training strategy, let's shift to talking a little bit about the training strategy and how that kind of goes into muscle signaling. The goal isn't just to burn the calories in the gym, you guys. It's to send that signal to your muscles that they are needed.
Hypertrophy.
We should start that debate again, you guys.
So I'm going to reference Menser. You need to flip the switch, the light switch, to tell your body to make muscle. You need to do the mechanism, make muscle. So you need to progressively overload to do that.
Yeah, and that's the only way your body will be able to hold on to that muscle size while getting rid of the fat, as if you're flipping that switch, telling them you're needed. Don't go anywhere. In fact, I need more of you.
Native Grit, big Scottish event here at work.
Ah, cool.
Fantastic. I know where I'm going to eat. My man.
Get some haggis.
Haggis, some blood pudding, some Scotch eggs. Come on, baby.
There you go.
There's an Irish restaurant across the street from Camille's competition. I asked if they had Scotch eggs. We got to look it up, because if they do, that's where we're going. If they don't, maybe not.
So yeah, in terms of training guidelines, you guys, you're absolutely going to want to prioritize the progressive overload. James and I will never on this channel tell you not to prioritize the progressive overload. That's how important that piece is, regardless of the goal.
I'm going to say probably never, because I don't like to say never.
I'll go ahead and say never. I mean, unless you have a medical reason or something like that, then,
Probably never.
Yeah. So that means you have to track your lifts, and you have to keep trying to improve week to week. It doesn't matter who my client is, how old they are, beginner, intermediate. If they come to me and say body recomping, I say, come back when you got the log book. And you better believe that for every lift we do, I'll grab the book and I'm flipping through there. I'm like, what did you do last week? Okay, here's what the plan is for this week. So that's how important it is, you guys.
You got it. One more rep, one more pound. I don't care. Either one, you just do a little bit better than you did last week, and you will build muscle.
Yep. A lot of times when people say to me, oh, the body recomp's not working, it's because that you're not tracking the lifts, right? And the intensity is just not there. So yeah. Dave and Buster says, plus your pre-workout also dilates your blood vessels.
Angel's got a question for you.
What will you be eating first after the show? Well, Angel, I'm probably going to get some crumble cookie and bring that. But James and I were talking about this. Like, I don't really have a crazy craving. The more competitions and things you do, the more you realize that doing that to yourself just makes you feel ill. And I don't want to feel ill. I want to feel great, you guys. So I'm definitely not going to be cramming pizza down there, and doing all this crazy stuff. But
we discussed this a lot this week, actually, because we have 4 people, including Camille, that are in peak week. And they're all, blah, blah, blah. As an amateur, as a young man, I did the same thing. Pizza, tacos, burgers, whatever. As a pro, and after doing this, it's just another day at the office. I think I went back to the hotel room and had peanut butter and jelly after my last show. So the longer you're in this, the less the post-show meal means to you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to repeat what Camille said. If you eat the pizza, if you eat the donuts, if you eat the brownies, if you eat the crumble cookie,
you eat all the things,
you better have some Tums, some Pepto, and be next to the toilet because it's going to tear you up.
And when I say crumble cookie, it's like a bite, right? Like I'm taking a bite of a cookie and I probably will have some type of salad. My last show, I actually had like a bowl of Brussels sprouts and maybe it was like some mushroom risotto. And it was like just a normal portion size. And the time before that, it was a chicken Caesar salad with lots of croutons. So it's nothing crazy, unfortunately, kind of boring.
Yeah. Many years ago, I would drink wine before going on stage. It's supposed to bring your veins out, help you carb up. Well, a high level pro at Gold's Gym, Lisa Auckland, she's actually top in the world when she was at her prime, overheard, and she came over and said, listen, that's for amateurs, man. You're not going to see a pro drinking wine backstage. That only amateurs do that crap. So guess I didn't drink any more wine after that. And guess what? At the pro level, you do not see wine backstage.
You do not see that at all.
At the amateur level, you might see some wine backstage. And I mean, if you need it for your nerves, okay, I get it. But if you're a pro, you're not doing that backstage. Just like if you're a pro, you're not worried about the pizza after the show. You're more worried about where you placed and what's next.
Exactly.
Aileen, I like a seafood chowder after a cut.
Nice.
Very nice. Danique, welcome back, Danique. It's crazy how your cravings diminish on show day. That's right. You also carb up for your show, so you're eating carbs.
Yeah,
they might not
full.
be good. They're probably rice cakes, but you're carved up. You're pretty full.
Well, not only that, I think athletes get into this thing. You've been at a deficit for so long that mentally you're kind of like looking at things. You're like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Because if you do eat it, going to Angel's question, do you gain weight fast the first few days? You will gain weight so fast that mentally you're like, how did I gain 10 pounds in 2 days? Like, and then, you know, you got swelling, inflammation. You might even get like temporary gout and like all of these problems.
Yes.
So that whole like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Things running. And the more you do it, you're like, it's not worth it.
It's not. Angel, in my younger days, I gained 30 pounds in 2 days. I felt sick for a week. Of course, after the 2 days, I started cutting back and started losing some of those 30 pounds. But man, I literally put 30 pounds on in 2 days, and it was not good.
Yeah. So what I do, Angels, I will let myself eat a meal after the show, and I'll let myself eat the whole next day, like whatever it is that strikes my fancy. And then that Monday after the show, I go back on my macros the way they were before peak week. And I will reverse out of that. And it takes months to reverse out of that. But if you do it that way, you probably only gained like 5 pounds over those couple of days, and it's just water, and it'll taper back off.
Smart way to do it, yeah. Native Greg, your thoughts on supplementing with leucine? Absolutely do it.
It's a must.
Leucine, isoleucine, and valine. Those are your BCAs. So I would absolutely do leucine, but I would do leucine with isoleucine and valine so you get all your BCAs in there.
For sure.
But leucine is the most important of the three.
Yeah.
Big T, Camille, what show are you doing?
PA Muscle, baby, even though we're in Maryland.
Lancaster, what, an hour from here, hour and a half?
Yeah.
So it's not too far.
No, it's not far at all.
B. Gray, welcome.
Hi.
I'm 10 weeks into my cut today and still going strong.
Nice.
1 to 2 pounds a week consistent.
That's
Fantastic. I haven't had any refeed days, but I still feel good. Should I start or wait until weight stalls? I would wait until you stall.
I would too. And then that revs the metabolism back up, and then you'll keep steady dropping after that.
I'm a very firm believer in if it's not broke, don't fix it. Be great. You're still making gains. You're still losing consistently 1 to 2 pounds a week. It's not broke, baby. Keep rolling until you stall out and then worry about fixing it. All right, Angel, I was asking because I saw Larry Wheels gain 50 pounds in 2 days.
I've had clients gain 20 to 30 in 2 days, and they were so uncomfortable. Like some athletes end up in the hospital doing that fast.
Yeah. You're welcome, B. Gray. Happy to help, baby.
So yeah, some other training guidelines outside just prioritizing the progressive overload for body recomposition. You still want to train at the hypertrophy range. So your 6 to 12 reps. If you're a little older, maybe a little on the higher side, so you can bring the weights down a little bit. But you still want to have that 3 to 5 sets per exercise. And like I said earlier, training frequency, I would do 4 to 5 days a week, you guys. I would not do less than that if body recomposition is what you're going for. So just consider your split and how you're going about it. Make sure it's not beating you up.
That's my sweet spot, and that's Native Grit's sweet spot, by the way, as well. 4 to 5 days a week of training, babe.
Yeah, for me, it's more on the 4 side if I'm doing body recomposition. And that's where I start all of my clients. I recommend they at least get like 4 good sessions in if they can. If they need to work up to that, we'll, work our way up to that. But definitely a good goal for you guys.
Yeah.
And then in terms of failure training, you guys, you need to use this sparingly. So I would save it for the last set of a few exercises, probably your isolation exercises too. Not necessarily all of your compound lifts. And I would still prioritize your compound lifts first in the workout. Rather than your isolations, I would leave those for later in the workout to help refine and fix weak points. But yes, don't be going to failure every set.
Yeah, failure is a great way to train, and it will ensure your gains, but it will beat you up, and you will need to recover. And like Mentor said, if that's when you need 5 days to recover, right?
Right.
Remember, if you progressive overload, you're making the gains. You turn that switch on. Right. You want to do the least amount of effort to turn that switch on so you don't dip into your recovery so deeply. If you're going to failure every single set, you're definitely dipping into your cover. It's not necessarily anything wrong with it. Just realize you're going to have to wait 4 or 5 days before you can train again.
Yeah, the great way I like thinking about it for every muscle group that I learned from a hypertrophy class I'm taking is train with enough intensity that if you need to go back out in 3 to 4 days and hit that same muscle group again, you could hit it with the same level of intensity. Any more than that, and you're just creating too much muscle damage at any one time. And if you create too much muscle damage, what do you think is happening to that protein you're eating in that nutrition? It's going to repair, not muscle protein synthesis. So, and growth.
Right. It's repairing, not building.
Right.
The body always repairs first before it builds that mountain of muscle on top, right? So it's going to repair the tears, the microscopic tears first.
Right.
If you hit it again, you didn't give it time to put that mountain of muscle on top, and you just tore it again.
Right.
So give yourself time to recover. And like Camille said, maybe don't go necessarily to failure every set. As long as you're progressively overloading, you're making the gains.
Right.
All right, where are we at?
Aileen says a little bit more volume for body recomposition.
It can help. Yep.
Yeah, it can help.
Fawn Angel, welcome.
Hey, welcome back. So yeah, James loves running the bro split. And he actually, especially for the body recomposition or the HIIT, he does add a little bit of metabolic, I'll call it metabolic conditioning in there. So he does a short HIIT session after those lifts. We're talking about probably 85% max heart rate. So that's why it's metabolic conditioning there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of really sparks that metabolism up, helps oxidize that fat. And he continues to burn at that higher level for hours after.
That is correct. But be careful. That will beat you up. I don't do it more than twice a week. Because even though it's only 5-6 minutes, you're going hard like sprinting, like us talked, a couple weeks ago. You can walk all day, but go ahead and sprint. You're not going to go very far, right? Sprint as fast as you can. You're not going too far. So keep in mind, this is a sprint. So I'm going to do it maybe twice a week. I'm not doing more than that. And it beats me up, believe me.
Yeah. Bro split, as in you're training a separate body part, muscle group per day. So you have a shoulder day, leg day, back day, chest day, arm day. As term is where the off days are, it's really up to the individual. I have some clients that will work out Monday through Friday, take Saturday, Sunday off. Yeah. And then others will kind of work out until they're kind of beat up, take a day off, after legs, for instance, take the next day off and then come back.
Davina, welcome back. Great question. So I do the bro split. My rest days are Wednesdays and Sundays. I don't like to go more than 3 days of training hard without a rest day.
Yeah.
So Wednesday, Sunday.
I float my rest days. If I'm being honest with you guys, it depends when I feel like, hey, I wake up and I'm like, I can't hit the lift today. I need a day off. I'll take a day off and then just kind of float my split throughout the week. I do more of an modified Arnold split. So I do combine body parts together. Allows me to focus on some of the muscle groups that need a little more attention to bring them up and not so much the others. You guys have all seen my back, right? Like I need a little less back training, a little more leg training. So it allows me a little flexibility to work on what I want to work on.
Yeah, and we've talked about this, and that's why I said I train 4 to 5 days a week, because if I need an extra rest day, I'm going to take it. If I know I can't go to the gym and progressively overload, I'm going to take a rest day. But rarely am I there less than 4 days a week. All right, Vino. So 1 muscle group per session per week. Yes, that's what I train. That is correct.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the cardio, right? Because we talked about the intense progressive overload lifts. We talked about the diet. The last piece of the recomp strategy is the cardio sessions, right? And cardio is not an enemy, you guys. I know it's like a dirty word, but it's a tool, right? It's a tool that you can use, and you need to use it correctly at the right time. So in terms of cardio protocol, if you're doing body recomp, I actually recommend like low impact steady state cardio, you guys. So maybe 3-4 times a week, anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes. It's great for recovery. It's great for flushing fluids back out of your body, as well as burning fat. What I have found is when you're doing these really long, extensive cardio sessions, kind of like I am now, you can burn through some of your muscle, right? And so if body recomp's what you're doing, you want to minimize that. And I would at least start on the lower end, right? Start at 20 minutes, 3 times a week, and see how that does for you.
Yeah, if you've been watching, we've been hiking just about every weekend. We do a half hour, low, slow, and I love it. It's not boring. It's fantastic. It's a great way to start the day. We usually catch the sunrise. I mean, it's wonderful, wonderful way to start the day. I love it. If you're into hiking, that's a fantastic way to get your cardio in.
Right.
I know a lot of people walk their dogs to get cardio. Same thing, get up, get moving. It's a great way to start your day. I'll go out in the woods any day over a treadmill, y'all. If you want me to walk on a treadmill, there better be a TV or something, because but outside, I'll walk all day long. It's great. It's fantastic. It's good for your soul to get out there in the woods.
For sure.
All right, Maui. Welcome back, Maui. Hey, everyone. I'm late again. No problem, Maui.
Better late than never.
Yep, better late than never. Thanks for tuning in, baby. The Vino, 30 minutes, 5 days per week, steady state walking on a treadmill is my goal, but realistically, it's 3 days per week.
Hey, it's a good starting point. If you need more than that for the goal, definitely try to get more than that. But I'm glad you're at least hitting it 3 days a week. That's fantastic.
Yes, you want to do as minimum as possible and still reach your goals. So I'm going to give you a suggestion. Your goal should be 7 days a week if you want to do it 5 days a week, right? Your goal's 5 days, you're getting 3.
Buddy.
So up the goal to 7, you'll get to 5, right?
In theory, right?
In theory. All right, Becky, perfect timing on the cardio. You just carried me through a 10-minute hit. All right. Sounds short, but feel like an eternity.
It's forever.
Only twice per week.
Good.
Daily lifts, walk. Very fantastic.
That is perfect.
Low intensity for 30 minutes. That's great. Good stuff, Becky. Keep it up. Love the 10th live, by the way. Thanks, Vino.
Awesome.
Right.
Danique says, listening to y'all while doing cardio, leg day and recovery with 30 minutes walking. Good. In terms of walking, you guys, for a step count, I would aim for 8,000 to 12,000 per day, depending on how many you normally get. Like if you're normally getting 14,000, then maybe bump that up so you have like a more of a stretch goal in there. But it's a great place to start, that 8,000 to 12,000 steps per day. In addition to that low impact steady state cardio we were just talking about.
That's a good amount of steps too, by the way. If you have an office job, you're going to have to intentionally get up and walk to get that many steps in there.
Yeah.
All right, fallen angel. So I do my cardio on off days. Will that affect muscle gains at all? No, that's a great strategy. I know a lot of people who do that strategy. It also gets you back into the gym if you're doing your cardio in the gym so you can see your peeps.
Now, if your cardio is beating you up, it could. I will say that if you're doing like a grotesque amount of cardio, really intense cardio, like not the low impact steady state. So be careful there.
Big T, thoughts on how often you should do HIIT cardio?
That is a good question. So
Great question.
in terms of body recomposition, you guys, I would say once, maybe twice a week. And I would keep it under 20 minutes because over 20 minutes on HIIT, it becomes kind of catabolic and you risk muscle wasting there. And we don't want that. So.
And you just heard my example, Big T. I do 5 minutes twice a week of HIIT cardio.
Yeah.
Max 5 minutes twice a week.
And if you are like having a terrible week where you're just not sleeping and you're not recovering, do not do that HIIT session. It'll only make things worse. Instead, you could do some type of other type of metabolic conditioning, like some kind of short time-based circuit or something like that. I think that, helps focus on total body.
Becky, yesterday I had 30,000 steps. Not mine. Stupid Fitbit counts Harley steps. That's fantastic. You got a bike. I missed my bike, Becky, man. And it's perfect weather today. If I had my bike, boy, after this, I'd be on the road.
Yep.
But we sold it a couple years ago.
Yep, we did, unfortunately. We sold my Camaro, too. He had the bike. I had the hot rod. We even had a K5 1980s Blazer. We sold all of the toys, you guys.
Maybe we'll get it back one day, but we'll see.
We did buy a house in the mountains. So, there's that.
I would take that any day on the bike. I'd like to have the bike in the mountains up on those twisty switchback mountain roads. That'd be fantastic. All right, Maui, I work calisthenics and take 30 seconds between sets. That's my cardio. Fantastic. That's a great way to do it. When I was a young man, I would do that, but as I aged, I don't really do that too much often anymore. Yeah,
for me, it kind of interferes with the intensity of my lifts because cardiovascularly, I'm not recovered to hit the intensity level I need when I do the calisthenics in between sets and things. So, yeah.
Fallen Angel, how do you guys feel about swimming? Is that an optimal form of cardio? Yes, that is fantastic. One of the best. There is no pressure on your joints. Yeah. You're not beating up your joints when you're swimming and your heart rate's elevated. I used to tread water, believe it or not, for cardio.
With ankle weights on, you guys. His grandma was just telling me about this the other day.
My grandmother treaded with me a couple times because she can tread water all day long. I don't know how she does it, but
she's a beast.
She can tread water all day long. And we was getting ready for a competition one time, and she was in town, and she did it with me a couple times. Kept me company.
I love it.
Thanks, Granny. Appreciate it if you're watching. All right, Becky, up here we got to get out sunrise and be home before 10 or we spontaneously combust. Me too, Becky. I can't be out after dinner anymore. I just got to go to bed.
He's not kidding, you guys. He goes to bed at 5:30 p.m. I just don't know if you guys know that. Yes. He gets up very early, though. So
yes, it works, except for when I'm on vacation. I definitely am staying up later when I leave and go on vacation, try to sleep in. But it works for me better than any other sleep schedule I ever had in my life. Plus, my first client's at 4 a.m., and I like to get up and work out before that and shower and get ready. So keep that in mind when I'm getting up at 1, 2 o'clock. I have to be at work at 4. And I have to get my workout in and showered and ready. So 5:30, 6 o'clock is my bedtime. All right, where we at? Becky, double the pain. Yep. Bresciana, welcome back.
Hi.
Thanks for tuning in from Puerto Rico. Hi, guys. Chat. Maui, I'm 61. Fantastic.
And
Maui.
You're doing calisthenics in between sets. That is brutal. Yeah. I love it.
Becky said your grandma's my hero.
She's my hero too.
She's wonderful, y'all. We were she lived in Florida for a while and had a dinghy sailboat made of styrofoam. Guess what me and Granny were doing in the styrofoam sailboat? Chasing alligators. Literally chasing alligators. So yes, my grandma was very awesome.
She's wild. I mean, she went whitewater rafting, cliff diving. I mean, she would do all the things.
She's a blessing. I'm glad we still got her around for now.
Yeah. So yeah, in terms of cardio, like I said, low impact, steady state, just 20 to 40 minutes, 3 to 4 days a week. And I would start on the low end initially for your body recomp and then only add as you stall out. Try to keep that step count between 8,000, 12,000 a day, and then opt for that HIIT training once, maybe twice a week, no more than 20 minutes. Like keep it real minimal because it'll beat you up, you guys.
Yeah. Maui says, yes, I love it so much. Loving the calisthenics. That's fantastic. Man.
Yeah. In fact, probably my one client, Brandon, that we will put on the thumbnail here, he is all about calisthenics, and I can't argue it. I mean, the guy built a solid physique just on calisthenics alone. And so when we introduced the intense kind of hypertrophy training, he body recomped super fast, you guys. It was incredible to watch him transform.
That was fun to watch. Yeah. Angel, Camille, are you having a cheat meal when needed?
Not anymore. Not since James and I's last, well, it was 2 times ago. 4th of July, I think, is the last time I had a cheat meal in there. So at the closer I got to the show, I had to let that go and just, stay pretty regimented here.
Yeah, when you're in prep, Angel, you only get a cheat meal when you're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Camille's actually a little behind. She's not ahead of the game. So
yeah.
No cheat meals since 4th of July vacation. So it's been a month, over a month.
Yeah, it's been over a month.
Penny, welcome back.
Penny.
You're looking great.
Thank you, Penny.
Fallen Angel. So I typically run for 1 to 2 miles, 20, 25 minutes. Is that enough or should I do more?
No, I mean, I think that's a great starting place, Fallen Angel.
No, that is the definition of a cardio workout. You want to sustain your heart rate for 20 minutes. So you're right there. You're doing it. Good job.
I think that's perfect. Whether it's, I think walking's underrated a lot of times. It's really your guys' secret weapon, and it's low stress. That's the one thing we really haven't talked about a lot with this body recomp. You're going to want to keep your stress level and cortisol levels in check. So you don't want to introduce some type of workout or cardio that's going to create, spikes in that cortisol. So walking has a high rate of return for you guys, and it definitely doesn't tank the recovery. So yeah.
Angel, keep lifting, keep living, keep laughing. Stay pumped. Thanks for tuning in, Angel. We appreciate you. And remember, the rear delt video is dropping this week. Your request, Angel. So stay tuned Wednesday for that rear delt video, baby. Maui, you both look super. Thank you very much. Raciona, hi guys. When starting your recomp, do you calculate your calories using BW times 12/13, or do you calculate a different way?
So the best way for you to do it is to know what you're eating, right? Is like take 3 days and just log whatever you're eating. The hard part is not changing and cleaning up your diet. You literally just want to log exactly what you're eating and then pull 200 to 500 calories out. If you're already kind of lean, maybe 100, but that's the best way to do it. If you don't know, then yes, I would start with your body weight times maybe 11 for girls and 12 to 13 for the males. But that's only if you're like, hey, I need to start right now. I don't have 3 days to log. You're going to be a lot more accurate if you take the time to do the food journal for 3 days. Yeah,
Racion, I'm going to repeat. If you have no clue, then body weight times 11. I would actually do 12/13. That way you got some wiggle room. But anybody that's starting out, we will recommend body weight times 11.
Yeah, especially like the females. Like if they come to me and they have no clue, there's no hope that they're going to log for 3 days because, they're just not tracking it like that. That's where I will start.
Yeah.
So it can work, but you're going to lose several weeks in the trial and error. Whereas if you just know what you're eating, it's a lot faster.
Yeah, your best bet is just to start tracking. And then either add or subtract calories from there.
In terms of recovery and supplementation, when it comes to body recomposition, if you're out there training like a beast, eating clean, and you're still not changing, chances are there's something in your recovery that just sucks, you guys. I'll be honest. So the keys to recovery there, number one is sleep. You got to get that 7 to 9 hours, you guys. If you're only getting 3 to 4 hours a night consistently, it's just not going to happen, right? Something's got to give, and your body's going to prioritize just bodily functions and things over building mass and oxidizing fat.
Yeah, you all heard my crazy sleep schedule, but I've had sleep issues my whole life. And this is the best natural sleep schedule I've ever had. Literally 6 o'clock in the evening till 2 o'clock in the morning is my absolute best sleep window. You know, I used to stay up to 10 o'clock at night, but then I'd wake up at 2 and couldn't fall back asleep till 5 or 6, right when the alarm's going off anyway, and I have to get up. So believe me, if you can find your natural state of sleep and stick with it, that is your best bet by far. All right, where we at?
When starting, oh no, we read that one.
Maui, when you teach your body, use fat for energy and eat lots of protein and good fat, I think this is the way.
It is a way. It is a way. Like if you want to pull the carbs out, your body will switch over to a fat burning system and use the fat. It'll convert the fat into glycogen. So you have energy. So it will shift over time. It's a lot easier just to use the carbs as energy, but both will work for a period of time.
Yeah. That is a strategy a lot of people use now. Dave and Buster, James, your serratus anterior muscles pop. What's your secret? You said it, baby. Pullovers. Dumbbell and cable pullovers I do regularly. If you don't know what anterior serratus is, it's your muscles right here that look like shark gills. When you do a lat spread, you got 3 little muscles here. See if I can get them out. Yeah, right there. If you can see them, they look like shark gills. And pullovers is the way to hit them.
Yeah.
Great question, Dave. And also, thank you.
We call them serratus anterior planks. That's a good starting place too to work on. You just get into plank position and you depress and elevate your scapula, and it will work those muscles right over the first 6 ribs there. It's a muscle that is really hard to train directly. So yeah, I agree. The pullovers are great. The anterior serratus planks are great exercises as well.
Yeah. A Maui, a small amount of good carbs is, and small amount of good carbs also. Yes. I would rarely recommend going to 0 carbs. I mean, there's times when you do it and you should do it, but it's rare.
I'm even eating carbs, guys. Like I still have about 30 grams of carbs a day and I'm a week out from the show. There'll come a point later this week where I'll pull them out, but that's, something kind of different, but.
Fallen Angel, I usually get 6 hours of sleep trying to push to 7 or 8. I hear you, Fallen Angel. It's tough. Sometimes I wake up at 11, 12, and I can't go back to sleep.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'll lay there for an hour trying to go back to sleep. If I can't, I'm getting up. After an hour, I'm getting up and I'm doing something. I'll catch up that night after that. So I'm with you on that one. If I can fall back asleep, I most definitely will. And I will try for a whole hour. But if I can't within that hour, I'm getting up, man.
Yeah, for sure. So in addition to getting good quality sleep for the body recomp, guys, you need to manage your stress levels.
If possible.
Yeah, cortisol, high stress, that all kind of equals poor nutrient partitioning in the body. So whatever you can do to manage that is good. I know at nighttime, I have been loving the sleepy time tea. Like not only does it kind of bring my stress levels down, let me relax, it makes me fall asleep, and man, it really makes me sleep, you guys. Another great thing is maybe adding magnesium supplement to your diet. I know it helps James kind of go to sleep and stay asleep as well. So whatever you can do to manage that stress level, it's gonna really just reap benefits for you guys.
Yep. Dave and Buster, I add oatmeal to my protein shake, but must use a Ninja, not a shaker bottle, to blend it up.
You like it blended?
Fantastic and tasty. That's good.
That'd be filling too. Yeah.
That's a great way to add some healthy carbs in there as well. Good.
For sure.
Fantastic, Dave.
Rest days, non-negotiable, right? It's just not an option. You have to take a rest day. And active recovery, like going out there and doing some of that low impact cardio, can count, but it's non-negotiable. If you want a body recomp, you're going to have to get good quality recovery time in there too. You can't just keep wear and tearing your body and expecting it to respond the way you want it to.
It's not going to. Fallen Angel, one thing I'm trying to work on, no phones or electronics before bed.
That is hard.
I've read that several times that it helps, but I've actually never tried it.
I pretty much fall asleep with my device every night. It's pretty much the only time of day I get to actually look at social media and keep up with you guys and see what you guys are up to. And so I'll usually be on that. And usually I wake up with the phone on me because I've fallen asleep while doing that. But yeah, it's a bad habit.
Me too. You know, I turn the TV on to turn my brain off.
Mhm.
So usually I'm watching TV when I'm fading off to sleep because it's hard to turn the brain off when I lay down. So either TV or phone, and that'll turn my brain off enough that I'll fade out and go to sleep.
Yeah.
When I wake up, I'll turn it off, but
Yeah.
usually fall asleep watching TV.
Yeah. And then hydration's important too. It's really important, you guys. Like you at least want to be getting 80 to 100 ounces plus a day. And if you work outside and you're sweating a lot, you want even more than that. So just something to consider, guys. Like make sure the hydration's on point. Don't underestimate that.
Yeah. We just went through a heat wave. I think most of America did. Man, it was sweltering for 2 weeks. In my new job, my new area does not have air conditioning. Man, I probably drank 3 gallons of water every day those couple weeks.
You probably needed it.
I mean, it's snapped now. It's beautiful outside, and I can't wait. You know, I hope another heat wave doesn't come, but make sure you get your water in, especially if you're sweating.
Yeah, and not only that, if you're sweating, you're leaching some of those electrolytes out. So make sure in terms of supplements, you do have an electrolyte type of supplement. It's going to help prevent the cramping, improve your hydration, and it actually helps support nerve signaling, which is good if you're trying to, you know, get those hypertrophy gains. So electrolyte is important, and there's lots of different ways you can do that.
Yeah. If you do EAAs, they got electrolytes in them, y'all. And it's a fantastic way to do it. Fallen Angel, oh yeah, where I live is 90 degrees.
Ooh, hot.
We were in the high 90s for almost 2 weeks with all the stank humidity that comes with Maryland. So, ooh, baby.
Yeah.
We're with you on that. Dave, I added more fans to my basement gym. Fantastic. Maui in Finland, we had 30 plus Celsius for 3 weeks. That was hard.
I bet.
What's that in Fahrenheit?
Yeah.
I got to do the conversion here.
So some other strategic supplements for your body recomposition. Creatine's a must, you guys. Anyone listening to our channel, you guys should be doing creatine. Like, if not, definitely start that. Start with 5 grams a day. It's good for strength, muscle fullness, cell hydration. So definitely really important.
30 degrees Celsius is 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, that's pretty hot.
That's hot. Fish oil is another must. You know, it's good for joint support. It's going to help with inflammation as well as your metabolic health. So make sure you have a nice quality fish oil supplement in there as well.
Becky, y'all had it worse than Arizona.
That's hard to believe.
For a quick window, yes, we did. But most of the time, you're sweltering out there in Arizona. We went to the Grand Canyon and hiked down the canyon. And oh, my goodness. Going down wasn't too bad, but coming up, oh, man, was it hot.
And when they say don't feed the squirrels, they mean that at the Grand Canyon. That's a story for another day, but it was interesting. We fed the squirrels, you guys.
Fallen Angel, which brand of creatine would you recommend? We use Optimum Nutrition Creatine Monohydrate. I'm not really sold on a brand. Just get the creatine monohydrate. There's 1,000 different creatines out there. They tested them all. None of them came back better than the original creatine monohydrate. So you don't have to pay for the fizz or the alkaline or any of that. You just get the regular creatine monohydrate and roll with it. Yeah,
we use Optimum Nutrition if you're curious what brand we use. But like James said, a lot of them have good mixability, no taste and whatever. So it's not, brand specific there.
David Buffs, glucosamine chondroitin. I'm not saying that right, but I believe that's for your joints.
Yeah, we take that as well. I recently cut that out for my contest prep, but yeah, I normally take that.
I always take that, yep. Becky, no lie, you did. No lie, we fed the squirrels. Now we gotta take monohydrate. Fantastic. That's what we take as well.
All right, I'm gonna have to tell a story. So there's this cute little squirrel, and I think we had some Chex Mix, and we're like, oh, the poor little guy looks hungry. So we're tossing it down, and then all of a sudden another one comes, and we toss it down, and then like, I don't know, they go away, and then you just hear this like, and then all of a sudden we were like, oh my God, there's squirrels everywhere. He was like doing some kind of like call to his friends, like, come on, it's feeding time. It was scary.
Yeah, and a bunch of squirrels showed up, and then they started fighting, et cetera, et cetera. It was
weird. I've never seen anything like that.
Lesson learned, do not feed the squirrels in the Grand Canyon. Yeah. As cute as they look,
Oh, they're
and
so
as
cute.
hungry as they look.
They kept like packing that Chex Mix in the cheeks and they're all blown out. It was so cute. Anyways.
Don't feed them. Big T, I've been adding in hydration supplement during my workouts. Definitely helps with the workouts. Fantastic. It is highly recommended that you drink water during your workouts. If dehydrated, you're not going to get the results or, be able to perform if you're even slightly dehydrated compared to being hydrated. So
for sure.
Good stuff, T. Fallen Angel, never feed wild animals.
Lesson learned. I mean, we know better because we have a lot of wildlife around here and we definitely don't feed it. But I don't know.
It is. And as much as you want to and as much as you think you're doing good, you're not.
Yeah.
Don't feed the wild animals 100%. Let them be wild. Don't try to domesticate the fox. It's a wild animal. Don't feed it.
Yeah. The last supplement I just want to bring up to you guys, because you guys are probably not going to expect me to say this, but vitamin D, you guys, it helps with hormone balance as well as strength and fat metabolism. So, that's something where if you look at your lab work and you're kind of either low vitamin D or borderline, you might want to bump that up. Of course, kind of being out in the sunshine in the summertime, it helps elevate those levels, but that can be the missing piece to some of that if you're trying to kind of get that fat metabolism. So don't underestimate the vitamin D, you guys.
Yeah, if you're deficient in anything, you're not going to be doing very well. And vitamin D, a lot of people are deficient at.
Absolutely, especially females in particular.
Yep.
So supplements are not going to replace your training and your nutrition, you guys, but they do help plug any holes that you might have. And that can give you a slight edge. So just remember, when we're doing body recomp, we want the whole machine to be firing on all cylinders. So you don't want any missing pieces there.
Dave and Buster, citrulline malate for the pump. The pump needs more blood, nutrients, more waste products removed. You are correct, Dave. Citrulline malate is a precursor to arginine, which is a vasodilator, so it swells your veins. Your veins are bigger, which means just what you said, more nutrients faster to the muscle and waste products faster out of the muscle.
Yeah, it's funny, Dave and Buster, we were just talking about this. I went through our cabinet and was looking at 4 or 5 different pre-workouts because when I go into the show about 30 minutes before, I pop a little pre-workout, but I needed to make sure that whichever one I was taking had the most citrulline in it. So I'd have the biggest pump on stage and vascular and all that good stuff. So
you're giving the secrets out. You're giving the secrets out.
It's a little secret for you, Danique, if you're still listening. But yeah, in terms of, some client results, we've had some really great client results with body recomp. There was the one female I was talking about earlier. She is over 50, you guys. And over the last 2 years, I have seen her completely recomp her body. She looks fantastic. She went from just, not really looking fit to, man, she walks into the room in a tank top and people are like, you work out. Like, you can tell. And we really didn't change her diet, that drastically. It was really just the intense lifting that was her missing piece. So, take the time and find out what your missing piece is. Is it the nutrition, the cardio, the supplements, the training, and, work that out.
Yeah, I told the story to all my competitors out there because it's a very unique story. I had a girl, figure girl, only lost 3 pounds during the entire prep, 16-week prep. She won, y'all.
Yeah.
So the scale didn't move more than 3 pounds, but her body completely changed. She went from a donut to ripped and only lost 3 pounds. And she won the figure show. So keep that in mind. Recomp really works. And I've been pleased since March with my results. I'm definitely I looked at the pics this week and said, man, the physique is definitely better at the same weight I've been at for a while now. So I'm pretty pleased with Recomp. I'm going to go back to bulk because I'm hungry, but Recomp will be probably pretty long part of my life going into the future here. All right, Danique's still on, and Ollie's Native Grit. I gotta go. Finish later. Stay strong. Stay disciplined. Thanks for tuning in, Native Grit. Appreciate you, baby. Maui, here in the north, we have to take vitamin D from bottles
believe
because
it.
we do not have sunlight so much.
I believe it. It really makes a difference. So it's good.
Yeah, I believe you're in Scandinavia somewhere, but I know Alaska.
Finland.
Finland, that's right. Alaska's got 6 months of sun and then 6 months of dark. So
Right.
if you're up there, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sharing that, Maui. Dave and Buster, 8 grams is a recommended dose, but few pre-workouts have this amount.
Interesting. I love that you make your own supplements.
Making sure you're getting the right amount in. Fantastic. Fallen Angel, so for diet, how do you guys feel about cheat meals?
Only if needed. I think far too many people grant themselves a cheat meal when it's truly not deserved. And that's not going to help you body recomp or cut or do whatever you're doing. So they have to be strategic. They have to be earned, so to speak.
If you were listening earlier, if you are in contest prep, you only get a cheat meal if you're ahead of the game.
Or if you need it to proceed, I would say.
I was getting ready to say that.
Yeah, sorry.
If you're not in prep and you're stalling, and your weight loss is stalling, you might need a cheat meal to revamp your metabolism back up. But use them sparingly and strategically, like Camille said.
Yeah.
Dave and Buster, malate aids ATP, which means more energy and stronger contractions. You are correct, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yeah, one of my other clients, which was a incredible body recomp, was someone that did mostly calisthenics for 10 years. And you definitely looked at them and you could tell that they had muscle. They were like a little fluffy and they want more muscle and they want that athletic look. And so we did the small deficit. It wasn't crazy. We intensified all the training with all the hypertrophy techniques that we've been talking about. And man, did he have a killer transformation. So, it doesn't take all that much sometimes to transform them. And I've definitely had other female clients like James where, they ended up.
You had a female client like James?
Like yours that only lost 3 pounds. I've had some that actually gained a couple pounds, right? But lost body fat, gained more muscle, and the like. So it's entirely possible. You just have to be willing to put the work in and the time, and you can't expect drastic changes week to week. It's literally like these minute changes week to week that stack up into something truly phenomenal.
Yes, the small changes over time. There are no big changes. Everybody wants a big change.
I know.
It doesn't happen that way. It's small changes over time. Denise, coach gives me no room for cheat meals. They are rare in prep, and if you're my athlete, you're not getting one unless you're way ahead of the game. It's a rare. You're going to see me give out a cheat meal. I do every once in a while, but it's rare.
So yeah, the biggest mistakes that I see people make with body recomp is just eating too little, not training hard enough. They're training too light, and they expect the scale to keep dropping weekly. Remember where we started when we started talking about this this afternoon. The scale means nothing in body recomp. It's visual only.
That's so hard for so many people. They get stuck on that scale weight and it's not going down, and they're getting frustrated. I said, man, don't even weigh yourself anymore.
Yeah.
Look in the mirror, look at how your clothes are fitting, etc. Don't even get on the scale.
Yeah. In fact, one of my clients on here, Penny, we've been talking about that a lot because the scale is fickle, man. Like you can weigh 3 different things at, 3 different days. You did the same thing. It doesn't make any sense. You just got to look at the photos. So, when she checks in, she sends me photos and I'm really looking at that. I could care less what the scale looks. It's like, did you get stronger? Do you look tighter? That's what we care about in the body recomposition.
Yeah, if you have a coach that's only going by scale weight, you better fire that coach because they need to see your physique weekly to see the little changes that you're making.
Right.
If the scale doesn't move and all they're looking at the scale, they're missing out on the big picture.
Exactly. So remember, guys, body recomposition is for lifters who want long-term transformation, not short-term weight loss. It's slower, it's more strategic, but way more rewarding. Yeah, Penny.
Screw that scale. That's right.
I mean, you look good. Like you definitely are gaining lots of muscle. I can tell you're stronger. All of your weights are up, which is a good indicator that muscle growth and hypertrophy is occurring. So this is all good. Positive signs.
And you all heard me, the pictures this week, I looked at it and said, wow, that physique is improving. And I'm still at 207. So Same weight, but the physique is definitely improving.
Fallen angel. I see in the gym, I see a lot of people weighing themselves up with shoes and clothes on. Yeah, I know. You know, first thing in the morning with as little as possible on, after voiding is when you should weigh. It's the most consistent time for you to weigh.
Yep, we miss Maui. I look fantastic at my age. All right, Maui, fantastic.
Yeah.
Keep it up, baby. I'm going to keep, playing this game till death, probably. So I'm hoping to look good in my 60s, 70s. I plan to look good in my 60s, 70s because I'm not giving this game up. I can't at this point. I love it.
Right. So, in summary, guys, make sure you're eating with precision. Don't starve yourself. Don't wing it either.
Yeah, it's a science. It's always been a science, and that's write it down, track it.
Yeah. Train to build, not just to burn calories, right? So toss that light lifting out the door, and control your recovery like a pro, right? Like emphasize it, put work into the recovery part.
You're very welcome, Fallen Angel. We're happy to help, babe. We started this channel to help, so if we're helping, we're very happy. Sadiq, welcome. Do you guys make customized training for someone to follow?
We sure do. If you guys are interested in us building a custom program for you guys with workouts, just go ahead and either DM us, email us, whatever you like. Our email address is info@88fitnesstraining.com. We'd be happy to make a program for anybody.
Yeah, reach out on social media, email, on here, however you want to do it.
We're pretty flexible.
We'll make it work, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so remember, measure progress in strength, you guys, shape and structure. It's not just pounds, right?
Yep. Maui, I love these live shows. Thanks. I love to hear that, Maui.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thanks for tuning in. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I love the energy. We love all the interactions and the questions and the engagement. Definitely, if you love today's chat, tell someone about it. Bring them to the live chat next week, you guys.
Fallen Angel's got a great question. Do you guys sell those 88 Fitness tank tops?
It is a great question. We are working on our drop shipment store right now for you guys. And the goal is when we hit 10,000 subscribers, we're going to go live with the store. And we're real close.
80.
Yeah, 80 more to go. So help us get there, guys. Definitely subscribe if you're not subscribed. And don't forget, this upcoming week, this past week, we had the Fix Your Lagging Triceps, so definitely watch that if you missed it. And tune in this coming week for Fix Your Rear Delts. So if you want those capped-looking delts, definitely need rear delts, so check out the video. Make sure you tap that like button, subscribe, and we will definitely see you on the next week's live. And you can hear the results from my show.
Okay.
So, all right, guys, Team 88 out. Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning in.